Is Rue out sunbathing still?
I think so. Seems to be getting a lot of light recently, probably because it's dark in here. So we're just doing an interview without him.
Sure. I thought all these glowing crystals would be enough for him, but apparently he needs real sunlight.
He needs something called vitamin C, I believe it is.
It sounds disgusting.
Yeah, agreed. Do you want to try pulling someone this time?
Sure. Someone who seems to have passed out, perhaps.
Those are always interesting.
Yeah, I got one here, and there.
Hello there.
What's this? Where's Sardrock?
In a different realm. You're in the realm of forgotten memories and dreams.
Is this some kind of joke? Because if he is trying any weird stuff, I am gonna really kick his ass when he stops killing me. I swear, on my mother's name.
Uh, no, we just pulled you in here for a moment so we can have a talk. We just want to hear your stories.
Okay, so you are just two dragons in the middle of a cavern wanting to interview a guy who was a few minutes ago being impaled by 10 spears in the heart?
I mean, it's a cave, but that's the overall idea, yes.
Okay, well, as long as I don't have to die again, it's fine by me.
To my thought process, I don't think we're going to kill you. In fact, can we even kill a spirit?
Well, you can trap a spirit. You can trust me, I know a lot about that.
Anyway, my name is Ephraim.
I am Ashura.
Hello.
We are the Delegation of Dreamers, but we're down one today.
And who might you be?
My name is Erico Hachasangrienta from Icewind Dale.
That's one day.
Hachasangrienta. Did I say that right?
Well, it's more like Hachasangrienta, but it's okay. Not a lot of people know how to pronounce my name.
Erico Hacha-cha-cha.
Well, that's just playing rum for the sake of being rum, but okay.
My apologies.
Yeah, I think that's my job.
Ah,
So anyway, what can a fellow Goliath being tortured for eternity can do for you two, good dragons from the dream realm? What do you want to know?
maybe start there?
Where are you from?
Well, I am from the mountains around the 10 cities in Icewind Dale, in the Sword Coast. I was born in one of the cliffs called Montaña Sangrienta. I come from a long dynasty of clerics of Auril, the Snow Queen.
Did you live there alone? Did you live there with your family?
Well, I used to live with my mom. My pop died before I was born. He was killed by a group of saber-toothed tigers that he was trying to hunt, but sadly they hunted him. And after that, I was just raised by my mother and the rest of the tribe. When she learned that Auril had left Icewind Dale, she wanted to learn more about it, and the tribe didn't want to mess around with gods, so we were exiled. And after a few years of traveling the mountains, my mom passed away, and after that, I tried to go back to my tribe, and they all were killed by a white dragon. So now I am quite alone. Yeah.
A white dragon.
Yeah, white dragon. You know, like big wings, all white, shoots eyes out of his mouth.
Did you happen to catch his name?
His name was Escama Blanca.
Escama Blanca. That's my cousin's boyfriend's brother's cousin.
Well, he's dead now, so I am quite sorry for your loss.
I hope we weren't too close.
There's gonna be an empty seat at the family reunion, but that's fine.
Well, take it from me because I love almost everyone that I knew. It gets easier with time, but if you find a new person for the table, it's better.
Hmm, that's true. An empty seat is like an invitation for a new member.
Or a wedding crasher.
Did you say that your mother was banished from the tribe?
Yeah, she wanted to learn why Odil, the Snow Queen, left 10 cities because my hometown was, well, my hometown, no, my homeland is a place of ice and snow where everything is covered by snow and only cold is in here. But Auril was the one responsible for making the sunrise rise and make plants grow and allow a bit of heat in the cold. But when she left, there was just cold, and we knew that we would die. You need the sun for plants to grow, and you need plants for the herbivores to grow, and you need herbivores and to in order to feed the carnivores and all of that. And she knew that in a few years everything will pass away and be destroyed. So she wanted to learn. But the Goliaths are superstitious people. They don't like magic, they don't like the gods, they don't like anything like so. They have shamans in order to ask the spirits of the animals they kill and all of that. My mother was not like that. She was the only cleric in the village. They didn't like her that much. And when she said that she wanted to learn what happened to Auril, they simply vanish. They told her, "You are messing with things beyond your comprehension, and we don't want to be splashed by that." So they stripped her of her surname and from being a part of the tribe, and they said that if we went back, we will be punished.
You'll be punished for it?
Yeah, because they thought that by trying to mess with the gods, they would get in trouble with other powers in nature or something like that. I was quite young when that happened, and my mother never explained to me a lot of Auril because, as I said, I was too young to learn about it. So, yeah, I simply assumed that it was just a weird stuff and didn't mess with it.
And what gods were they referring to?
They said something about a guy called Asmodeus or something, that he was actually Auril, and that if we try to find Auril, we will allow Asmodeus to get into this world or something like that. I don't know. Never met the guy, never knew anyone who worshipped him, so I just simply think that he's like a bad guy, but don't know who he is.
Interesting.
Like, do you know the guy?
I've heard of Asmodeus. I think he runs a pretty nice little bar somewhere.
That's Asmodeus.
Oh, isn't it Asmodeus?
The house of it, yes. So what happened? Did you leave Icewind Dale?
No, I didn't actually. My mother and I tried to learn about the disappearance of Auril, and during our search, we found a cauldron made of a material called chardalin, which it supposedly can trap souls in it. Well, we were trying to examine it because a strange artifact in the middle of some abandoned ruins with strange symbols that might point out to where Auril is. Of course, we were gonna try to find out about it. And while we were doing it, my mother said the wrong thing or touched the wrong rune or did the wrong spell or something. So her soul was trapped inside of it. And after that, the ruins simply crumbled and I was crushed from that. I woke up perhaps a week, a month after that from the ruins with a clear throat cut that should have killed me, but I believe the Chardarin saved me. However, I didn't find the Chardarin, and knowing that probably the soul of my mother was in it, I tried to find the cauldron and I went through all Icewind Dale looking for it and trying to recover it, but it was of no use. I spent almost 15 years trying to find it, and during that time, not even a single stone from the cauldron was found until a few months ago. I found it and I discovered that a group of Dwergars had it. They told me that in order to get it back, I had to stay in Icewind Dale. So yeah, never left the place.
Was that the first time you died?
Yeah.
How many times have you died since then?
Well, you kind of lose the count after the 50th time. So let's say more than 100, probably less than 1,000. Like you have there a bit of a spectrum where you can try to allocate it. So yeah,
I've heard that you lose count after the first time you die of head trauma.
yeah, if you get hit in the head, of course, that you lose that part of the brain and all of that. But once, actually, A lot of people don't know this, but when you die and you use the proper magic, the brain is regenerated and he remembers a lot of stuff. Actually, after the third time that I died, I actually remember a lot of stuff from my childhood and from things that I thought I had lost in my memory, because the brain gets to remember, but it's not that I just forgot how many times I died. It's more that it's just a lot of time and work to count them. So, just make an estimation and roll with it. Because who cares if you have died 100 times or 200 times, 500 times? You just simply have to know that you have died a lot.
And who keeps bringing you back?
Well, Shardrock actually.
Why would he bother keep bringing you back?
Well, because he was the one who killed me the second time during my search for the cauldron. He killed me, and after that, he resurrected me in order to ask me a lot of questions about who was I, why was I looking for the cauldron, what could I do for him. And he actually trusted me with finding souls for his evil machinations. He was trying to create a giant Shardaling automated lava dragon. I know it's quite weird to hear this, but just roll with it. And I tried to find him a few souls, but sadly I betrayed him and he killed me during the fight with him, and he killed me a second time during the fight. And after that, when he finished his dragon, when he conquered Icewind Dale, and when he had total control and no position of his title and ruleship over the land, he decided to make me like a pastime. So he has me chained to the ceiling in his throne room, and each morning he wakes me up, tortures me, kills me, and the next morning he kills me back.
So you're saying that you're here only to suffer.
Well, actually, once you have died a lot of times, it's just something that you get accustomed to. It's like beer. The first time you drink it, it goes right into your head, but after a few years drinking it, it simply does not work so much. So yeah, now like it's just a chore. Sometimes it's just a bit painful, but Serdorok doesn't have a lot of imagination. He simply wakes me up, uses a spear, pierces my heart, I suffer a bit, and then I die again.
And you said he entrusted you to find souls for him.
Yeah, he entrusted me to find three powerful souls to fuel his dragon. I simply had to look for them, and in exchange, he will give me back my mother's soul because he didn't have a use for it, and he will give me the cauldron. So I accepted, and I went on to find those souls and to try to get my mother back.
Oh, so he kidnapped your mother.
No, he took the cauldron which had my mother inside of it, my mother's soul.
Oh, I see. And why did you end up betraying him?
Well, because he was a little, how do you say in common? A little piece of shit?
I mean, that's kind of to be expected if you're trying to give him souls.
Yeah, so he had my mother. He killed me once. And it's true that he offered me a deal, but I knew that he was evil and he wanted to do a lot of bad stuff. And I know I have done a lot of bad stuff. I am not a hypocrite, but I didn't want to be a part of his machinations or to be a bad person. So I simply roll with it because I wanted my mother to be free and safe. And once my mother was freed and she didn't suffer anymore in the Chardalin, I simply tried to kill him, but it didn't go so well.
Yeah, I can imagine so. Who were these souls that you collected for him, and how did you meet them?
Well, they were, in the beginning, they were four souls, but one of them left us in the middle of the travel. There were a group of mercenaries and adventurers who so happened to stay in Icewind Dale for those days. There was this woman called Vic, a cleric of Eldath and a bard who was a arachnoid humanoid like spider person. Then there was this Kenku assassin, like this little rogue called Cicerone, who had a crossbow and was a professional killer. Then there was Mach, a gnome barbarian who ate too much sugar and was hyperactive and tried to kill everything in his path. And lastly, there was the warlock, Baldoma, a tiefling who had an infernal patron that wanted him to make a lot of bad stuff and weird things, but he was lost during an avalanche, during a snowfall, and he died. His corpse was retrieved by Sardorok actually, and I lost him. I met them in a tavern. I knew that they had killed the white dragon that killed my people. Again, sorry about that. Because people were talking about it, I simply went to the tavern and convinced them to help me kill some dwergars because I said that they were evil and they had made all the scars around my body and all of that because they had filled my body with scars and axe chips and all of that. They believed me and they thought I was with them, so I tried to get them to Sardorok's lair, and there I betrayed them. I put them to sleep with a spell, and after that, when Sardorok gave me the cauldron and I freed my mother's soul from this earth, I freed them, gave them their weapons, and said, okay, let's kill Sardorok once and for all. And then he kicked my butt.
So what happened then to your mother?
I don't know if she reincarnated, if she went to Mount Celestia, or if she went to hell, or I don't know her destiny. I just know that she was free, and that's the only important thing for me.
Okay.
Everything else can go to the toilet.
But do you have any new plans on how to get revenge on Sardarok?
Well, since he put an amulet around my neck, which is the one that is resurrecting me over and over again, and I know that his metallic Shardalin automated lava dragon has burned the few lands that were not already dead because of the cold. I know that he will eventually die of malnourishment and dehydration and denutrition. So I am just waiting for him and his people to consume themselves and die. Once that happens, probably my chains will rot and I will get to escape. And if I die, I will simply resurrect again and leave Icewind Dale and go to the south where there is a warmer climate.
So resurrection is a normal thing for you and your clan.
Well, not in my clan, just for me. We don't usually treat our dead like when someone dies during a hunt and we retrieve their bodies, we simply took away his gear, gave it to his son or daughter or wife or husband or something like that. And then we put the body in the middle of the mountain so that the vultures and the creatures of the mountain eat the meat, but I believe I am the first Goliath in the history of my tribe to being resurrected. So yeah.
Do you have any plans to settle down after you're done with all the murdering and stuff?
Probably I will. I've heard from this party of adventurers of a place called Waterdeep. They say it's a warm place with a lot of people, lots of food, lots of music and things, and I will probably stay there, become a hunter, sell pelts and meat, maybe get a house and settle down, find a family, and just pass the rest of my life.
And you talked about earlier about being able to trap a soul. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yes, so this mineral, this metal that I talk about, Chardalin, has the property of trapping a soul inside of it. If you make a spear and you pierce the heart of someone with it, the soul is trapped inside the spear tip. Same goes with axes, swords, any kind of weapon. If you kill someone with a weapon made of that mineral, you can trap the soul. And also, if you are a wizard or a cleric or someone with a knowledge of Chardarin, you can trap the soul of a newly killed person inside of it, and you can use it later for different purposes. For example, the cauldron was able to hold up to 100 souls inside of it.
What sort of purposes do you use the souls for?
Well, it all depends. For example, if you want to use it for a very powerful spell, let's say if you want to create a demiplane, or if you want to summon a asteroid, or if you want to resurrect someone, you simply consume the soul. It disappears from existence. There is no afterlife for the soul, and you can use it. For example, I usually use it when I was traveling the world in order to heal wounds I had from fighting. I will trap a soul, consume it, and that will close my wounds and make me healthy once again.
How many souls have you trapped? And can you only trap one soul at a time?
Yeah, well, I had a Chardali nuts, and I believe I've trapped 20 or 35 souls within it.
A number of souls.
Well, in Eswindale, either you kill or you get killed. So the people that I kill were evildoers, and people that tried to kill me, or people that were trying to kill and rob other people, and things like that. So I don't feel bad for them.
Understandable.
And don't you think that some people could consider you being an evildoer if you trap?
Oh, no, no, no. Of course, I know that I am an evil bastard. I know that people don't like me. I know that people, if they knew what I was doing, they will hate me. And that's why I kept it secret. For example, this party didn't know what I was doing until I rescued them from the dungeons and told them what Chardalin was for and what could be used for it. And when they learned about it, they hated me. They knew that if I didn't help them, they will probably die, so they simply resigned. My mother never taught me a lot about Chardalin, but she always said that I had to use it with caution because it was a really, really, really dangerous stuff. And probably if I went anywhere else and I told everyone what I did with those souls, they would probably try to kill me or put me in jail or something like that.
Yeah, the best time to reveal your secret is just after you rescue the party.
Yeah, because what are they gonna do after that? Kill you? They will lose an important asset.
Yeah.
That ore, you called it Chardelaine?
Mhm.
That's gotta be a very difficult ore to work with. Did you make the axe yourself?
Yeah, it's kind of like obsidian. You don't forge it, you don't hit it and then you strike it. You kind of have to work with a big piece of it and then you start hitting it with other stuff, bigger, with harder rocks. And after that, you give it the shape that you want. I made mine from an already existing weapon. This giant yeti had a giant axe, and I just took a part of it and made my ads from it. The only ones that know how to treat it properly are the Dwergars. They know how to liquefy it, put it into shape, and cool it down enough so that it maintains it. But I never knew it, so it was just like hitting rocks until it had the proper shape for me.
Do you have any other weapons?
I have my skull weapons, like weapons that I have made from skulls. I have an axe made from a gnoll jawbone. I have a smaller axe made from a kobold jawbone. I have a hammer made from a goblin skull. And I have an adamantium longsword that I bought from a store once because the party told me to buy something and try to get a magical weapon. So I just got that sword, but I never used it anyway. Also, I have a chainmail for armor, which I got from a deceased gnoll that I just killed. I simply rip it off and try to make something of my size, but it's actually a little small, so there are a lot of holes in it.
How come you have so many skull weapons?
Well, you kill a lot of things. If you are like me, that you don't know how to work with iron or steel or anything like that, you simply have to make with what you have. And skulls are quite strong, so I just simply roll with it.
Understandable. And the party that you said you betrayed, offered their souls, then released, is that the same party you're currently traveling with?
Well, I was traveling with because we fought Shardorok and Shardorok killed me and killed a few members of their party, and I was resurrected actually thanks to the party, and I was able to resurrect the few members of the party who had already died. And they had this weird magic, this portal magic, so they simply ran away and left me alone with the corpse of one of his members. Baldoma was his name, the warlock, because we actually found out that the warlock had been kidnapped by the Dwergars and killed and used as a rug. So yeah, they were able to escape, but I was left there and Shardrock killed me, and after that he started killing me every day.
That does not sound like a pleasant existence.
No, it's not.
We have a saying where I'm from: backstab me once, shame on you. Backstab me twice, you can't backstab me twice.
Well, if you die and resurrect, you can actually be quite backstab.
Well, hopefully you'll get your vengeance eventually.
Well, I hope so, because if the Dwergars find a way to grow plants and to get food and they do not die of starvation, and Icewind Dale actually thrives and Shardrock becomes the emperor of the land, I don't know if I will be able to be freed ever, and I do not want to spend the next thousands of years being killed over and over again.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would.
Yeah, no.
I only have one or two questions left. What would you say was the most epic moment you've had in your adventuring?
Oh, I believe that will be when I betrayed the party. We were fighting a lot of Chardalin berserkers. If you don't know who they are just humanoids who have become mad because of the Chardalin in their caves, which makes the souls trapped in them constantly talk to them in their sleep, so they are not able to sleep and they are just mad. And they were actually working for Shardrock, because in exchange for helping them they will never have to hear the screams of their deceased ones again, because they took all the Chardarin. And I betrayed the party when they thought I was gonna put them to sleep. But if not, I will think it will be the time that I gave a big speech when I found Shardrock and I stabbed him in the chest and thought that I had killed him, and I thought that my revenge was over, but then he simply grew up, because that's something that the Dwergars can do. And yeah, for a moment I thought that I had him, and I thought it was pretty epic.
And what about your least epic?
Well, that will be when Shardrock killed me, because after that he grew up and took out his hammer and he simply smashed me like a small fly. You could say it was a critical hit, and yeah, with just one strike I was down.
Oof, gotta hurt.
Yeah, it actually hurts, but it hurt more my feelings than my body. Even if you think that's impossible.
Yeah, it's usually the lighter hits that hurt the most. The stronger hits you don't even feel.
Yeah, you can say so.
And have you been able to get your mother back?
Well, I freed her. She simply left the cauldron. I broke the cauldron with my axe, and one of those pieces was my mother's, and she was trapped in it. And she simply left that piece, told me with a telepathic voice, "Thank you for freeing her," and then she just floated away and went to the sky. I don't know where she's now, either in Avernus, in the middle of hell, or perhaps she's in Mount Celestia, or maybe she was consumed or trapped. I don't know, but I like to believe that wherever she is, she's happy now and she's not suffering.
That's always good. Believe that loved ones don't suffer. And speaking of suffering, I think you're about to experience more.
Oh yeah, it seems like they're trying to resurrect you now.
Well, can I just stay here for a little longer? Like, can I work here as an intern or something? Do you want me to bring you coffee or something?
You're currently being pulled back, so
Ah,
I don't think you can stay for much longer.
well, then I hope that you have fun with your interviews from now on, and hope that one day you can interview me and I am already, not dying every day.
We'd be happy to have you again, and just maybe a better time.
Okay, well, see you soon, I guess.
Until we see you again, Have a good awakening.